Class. This tutorial today is going to be fairly brief. It's on two components. One is how to complete a literature web, and the second is on how to complete a vocabulary web. So with the literature web, the first thing you're going to do here is you're going to put your title of your book that you're studying or the piece that you're analyzing. Once you finish putting the title there, if you notice there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 components to the literature web. You have ideas, keywords, feelings, images and symbols, and the structure. Now, we're going to start off with keywords. So what you're going to do here in this box is you're thinking about keywords or phrases that you noticed in the piece that were very important. So here you would type some of those keywords out that really stand out to you that the author used in the text. You will also think about why they are significant. Why do you think the author chose to use these keywords? Now these could be keywords, and then I'll type here phrases, because it could be, not just single word, but it could be a phrase. Keywords or phrases, and I'm going to just widen this out so it can be on one line. All right, so then we're going to move to ideas. So here's where you're going to try to capture what do you think the main idea or the theme is. What other ideas do you think the author is trying to share through this piece? What do you think the author is saying about the human spirit or war or catastrophe? Whatever the issue is, what is the central message, the point that the author is trying to convey through those ideas? All right, here we're looking at images and symbols. So what are the central images that the author uses, either through words or through pictures? What deeper meaning do these images or symbols have? So obviously for this unit, there are a number of images and symbols that relate to the Holocaust. So you want to try to look for those. What are the central figures in the piece that the author uses that are prominent? What do people symbolize in the actual novel piece? All right, and then the last one is structure. How is the piece structured? And now, typically, this would be referring to poetry. What type of poetic structure is the author using? What devices are they using? What words or phrases are being repeated? How does the repetition continue through the poem? Now, this structure can also apply to novels as well. How is the story structured? How is the author using various literary devices or elements in the actual story in terms of the structure? Is he moving from the beginning to the end? Is he starting from the beginning? Is he using, first person or third person point of view? How is the story structured? Is it in chronological order? Is he using flashbacks? Is he using foreshadowing? How is that taking place? So that's essentially the literature web. The idea of the literature web is to capture the main components of either the poem or the novel in one snapshot, in one web. All right, so now let's move on to the vocabulary web. So this is the vocabulary web. The vocabulary web, as you see, has several components. So the first thing you're going to do here is you're going to start off with the vocabulary word. So this is essentially used to expand your vocabulary to when you're looking at a word that you don't know what it means, to really going into a greater analysis of that word. So here you will put the word, just simply type the word there. The origin is, where does this word come from? Is it Latin? Is it Greek? Is it Old English? So you put the origin here. In this box, you would put the stems. So the endings to the words. So is there an ed version of this word? Is there an ing version of this word? What are some of the stems? Now these could be prefixes or suffixes that are also used with this word. So you have, if this word could be used just as a base word and it has various stems, whether prefix or suffix is added to it, you can put those stems here. Then here, what is the part of speech? Is it an adjective, a verb, a noun? Here you have word families, other words that have the same base word that would fall into that word family. So you want to look for words that have, like I said, the same base word. Synonyms, words that are the same as this base word. So you list those synonyms here. Antonyms, words that show the opposite of that word. Here, this is where you would look up the dictionary definition of the word. In this section, you would write the sentence in context. So how is that word being used either in the novel or in the article or in the poem? So you literally copy that sentence here. And then finally here, the student example. This is where you would write your own example of the word. So you would type, just double click in the box. It's not working right now, but let's say if I click here, usually it works, but you double click in the box and then you can type. Okay, let's go here. Let me delete that. There we go. So there, now I can type my example. Now you can always stretch these boxes if you need more room to make them wider to include more space. So essentially the point of this is to get a greater understanding of a word. Let me center this. Now if you want to get fancy and change the colors and liven it up some, feel free to do that. But we want to make sure we have a greater analysis of the vocabulary word. And the expectation is you would do a couple of these per novel, really to get an in-depth look at a particular word that you don't understand the meaning of. So this will connect to a quest we do in class. Until next time, have a good day.